Good morning. I'm Corey. I'm the Wake County Ranger with the North Carolina Forest Service. I'd like to start off by reading the North Carolina Arbor Day celebration speech. It is a pleasure to be here today to celebrate Arbor Day with you all, recognizing and celebrating the value forests and trees provide for our people and communities is why we are here today, Arbor Day. Did you know that Arbor Day first took place way back in 1872? It is estimated that more than 1 million trees were planted in Nebraska that day. After moving from Detroit to the Nebraska Territory, the organizer and journalist J. Sterling Morton championed enthusiasm for trees and planting trees. The culmination of his efforts happened in 1885. Arbor Day was named a legal holiday in Nebraska, and it was April 22nd, Morton's birthday, that was selected as the date for its permanent observance. Arbor Day is now celebrated worldwide, and here in North Carolina, that day is the first Friday following March 15th each year as ratified in a bill by the state legislature in 1967, and it states in part, whereas it is desirable that the planting of seedlings and flowering shrubs be encouraged to promote the beautification and conservation of the vast and varied forest resources of North Carolina, and whereas the designation of a particular day each year as Arbor Day would encourage and draw attention to a concerted effort by North Carolinians to beautify and conserve the state's resources by planting young trees and shrubs. Since then, people have gathered each year to celebrate Arbor Day, as we have here today, reaffirming our commitment to protect, care for, and promote the value trees provide for people and our communities. Now I ask Commissioner Shannon Baxter to join me for the reading of the Arbor Day Proclamation and ask you to join us in honoring the many gifts that trees offer us as we commemorate North Carolina Arbor Day with this celebration and tree planting.
Thank you. All right, and now for our proclamation to celebrate Arbor Day 2026. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the Earth's temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, and fuel for our fires. And whereas trees in our town increase property values, and hence enhance economic vitality of business areas, improve residents' health, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now therefore, I, Jessica Harrison, Mayor of the town of Zebulon, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the town of Zebulon. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Adopted this 6th day of April, 2026, Mayor Jessica D. Harrison.
On behalf of the National Arbor Day Foundation and the North Carolina Forest Service, I am honored to recognize the town of Zebulon for achieving its 19th Tree City USA Award. Zebulon is one of 75 cities and towns in North Carolina and one of over 3,600 in the nation to receive this recognition. The Tree City USA program is a partnership between the North Carolina Forest Service and the National Arbor Day Foundation. Awards are presented annually to cities and towns that demonstrate a commitment to making their communities more livable by planting and caring for trees. To receive this recognition, Zebulon must have a public tree ordinance, a tree board and/or city department responsible for tree care and management, a community forestry program that meets annual funding requirements, and an annual Arbor Day observance and proclamation that celebrates the benefit of trees. The community forestry program in Zebulon thrives because of the combined dedication of city staff, elected officials, homeowners, the business community, and all residents who take pride in improving the quality of life in Zebulon through environmental stewardship. I am proud to present the town of Zebulon with your 2025 Tree City USA Award.
Thank you so very much. And I would also like to extend a huge amount of thanks to Mary Duffy, to Rick Fletcher, and to these awesome men and women here who represent our sustainability board and who are working harder and stronger, and they're doing such great work day in and day out to make sure Zebulon is a more sustainable community and a great place for future generations. Thank you all.